Hey, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. This is a part 2 to last week's video, talking about how to use Google Classroom as a way to create a portfolio piece when you're on the academic job market. So if you're new to Google Classroom, you probably want to watch that video first. I'll link it below. And Google was a theme of the month, so I'll link those videos too in case those interest you. In part 1 of this video tutorial, we discussed how to set up your first classroom and customize it. So today we're discussing, actually putting content into your portfolio piece. So the first area I really want to point out is this announce something to your class section. I have a whole video of how to use class announcements in your online course that might benefit you to watch as well after this one. But I do think this is the first place where you can really showcase how your faculty presence is done, like what do you do in order to communicate with students very clearly. And so this is the area of the stream page where you do that. You just click in, and then to create your announcement, as you can see here, it can go to all students, it can go to a certain course. So in this case, I only have one course in existence, so it's not allowing me to choose one. But if you had more than one, you choose what course it goes into. And then again, you have this announce something to your class. So you can use just text. Potentially you want to showcase a welcome to the class announcement, right? So a welcome post. And this might just be in text, like I said. Or if you wanted to, you can go ahead and add a video to YouTube. Maybe you have a YouTube account and you could have videos on there of introduction post, a recap video announcement. Maybe you have a lecture video that you want to include here. So you can add those if you have them on YouTube. You can also add something from Google Drive. So potentially you have your videos saved there. You can do that too. Or upload a file if it's, hey, welcome to this class, yada, yada, yada. Here's the syllabus, right? So maybe you attach your syllabus to this welcome post. And you could also add links to the post as well. So I do think having a welcome post as one of your example pieces would be very helpful. And just so you know, on the bottom right here, right? So you have options for posting. So you can post it automatically, which in this case, right, it's a portfolio piece, so you might as well. But if you are actually teaching a Google Classroom course, you can schedule this to go out at a certain time. And you can also just save as drafts, and then when you're ready to post, you go ahead and post it. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just say post here. And now you have the welcome post in the stream. And then again, you can comment on your post, and I've set it up so students can comment as well. And we discussed those settings in the last video. So again, something to do here is kind of just get a series of example announcements. So you have the welcome post, and again, you have a week 1 recap post, you have a unit 1 assessment, patterns, and you write a post about what you saw. Like, hey, I noticed that a lot of you did X, Y, and Z in your unit 1 assignment. Great job. Hey, there's this gap that I noticed in a few of the assignments. You want to keep your eye on that for the next unit because of X, Y, and Z, right? So just different types of announcements. You can go ahead and add them all here to the stream. Something to really consider as well, in case you want to speed things up, you can use this reuse post button. So it's almost like you have like templates of the post you created, because let's say you create a week 1 recap post. When you go here, you can say, hey, I also have week 2, obviously. I want to go to the week 1 post and I want to reuse it. And then now you just edit it to make it a week 2 recap post, and you post that. So in this case, it's not starting from scratch. It's just like if you have a certain setup, boilerplate approach to an announcement, you can use this reuse button as that kind of template feature. And then notice up here under saved announcements, if you open this up, these are 2 drafts I created. And so you can go ahead and delete them if you don't need those drafts, but that is where you'll find them when you have them. The main page we're going to be working on is classwork here. So this is where you can create and organize all your materials and your assignments. So if you click create, you'll see various options: assignments, quizzes, questions, materials, or you can reuse a post. But topic is what the key element is here, because this is how you organize your page. So if you add a topic, this depends on how you organize your courses. I'm going to keep it simple and just do it by week. So I go ahead and have week 1, and I did add that. Add another topic called week 2. And now I have that one. And then I can go on the right here and say move that down because I want it to be in descending order. So now we have, I keep building, and we have weeks for each one, right, for the course. Now, after that, then you might have, I'm going to create material for one of these weeks. And so maybe it's called Monday, the 20th. Maybe that's your first day of the course because you're teaching a Monday, Wednesday course. So then you have here's information about this day, right? Today we are discussing XYZ. You must read XYZ, then complete the activity, etc. Right? So you're adding in information. You can attach documents in Google Drive. You can add a YouTube video. You can create something attached to Google, like slides or forms, upload link, all the things that you can do here. So we're going to go ahead and have all this, and it's tied to week 1, right? It's that topic here. And so once you have all that done, again, you can go ahead and save a draft. If you're going to work on it later, you can schedule it or you can post it. I'm going to go ahead and click post here so you see what it looks like. So now we have week 1, and then we have Monday, okay? And when they go in, they see all this information, and then you can say, hey, view the material. Here's that whole page, and they can comment, right? Like, oh, I can't find this reading, right? So you might add comments to mimic what you would potentially add comments to on your own materials. So that's that. Oh, let me go back here. So that's one example. Now let me show you an example when you do add material. So if you click create here and material here, so let's say now we're at Wednesday, the 22nd, and you have information. Today we are, and you have all information here. And then you can go ahead and upload something from your computer. So I went ahead and added just a PDF resource as an example here, so it appears underneath the post. I can also go ahead and say, hey, I want to add a YouTube video. So I go here. What am I looking for? Maybe something about MLA. Citations. So now I search and I look through and I'm like, yeah, this is the one that I wanted. So I click that and I say, you can watch it to make sure it's, what you want. And then you say add video, and now the video is added too. And so there are obviously various options of things that you can add. Once again, this is going to be in week 1, and I'll post it so you can see this example as well. So now we have Monday and we have Wednesday. And again, it does this like ascending order. So you can go ahead and click here and move it up. That's just my personal preference. But now you have Wednesday, you have the information first that you write out, and then all of the resources are linked here too. So again, view material, and it takes them to that page so they can all see it on one individual page, and you can comment as needed. So that's adding material. Now, what if you want to go ahead and add an assignment or a quiz or a question? So just to show you how this works, if you add a question, then you have here, this is short answer, but maybe you want to do a multiple choice. And then you can, again, use this in different ways. Do you want to add it as an exit card example? Do you want to add it as a reflective piece? Do you want to add it as, suggestions for what to do next week in case you do have that flexibility in your courses? So you can go ahead and add the question here, add the options. It's going to be in week 1. You can say, hey, can students see basically what the responses are from students? They see how many people choose X, Y, and Z or not. I'll go ahead and say yes to do that. And then you can ask the question. And so now there's this question appearing here. They open it up and they choose what their answer is. You can see how many turns it in, how many assigned. So that obviously depends on how many students you have. So you have this option here as well. So if you go ahead and back into editing here, maybe this is ungraded because it's just again an exit card that you want information. You can add a due date to it. So let's go ahead and just add it here. You can close submission or not, depending. And now we click save. So we're going to update this now. So we have it here. It now says when it's due, and they can see the question. And they can go in and they can comment on it if necessary. You can see the student answers here, depending on when they are received. This too can be moved down. If it's an exit card for the week, right? Then you can go ahead and have it at the bottom of week 1. So that's the question feature. You can also go to create here. Let's go ahead and now create an assignment. And then you can let students know how their assignment will be evaluated using a rubric over here. So again, you title it, whatever the case may be. You add your instructions. If there's attachments that they need in order to complete it, you add that as well. All right. Just put that here so you see it once we click assign. So, okay, who we're assigning it to, how many points is it? So it has 100 or ungraded, but you can change that if you need it. Maybe your assignment is 50 points. When is it due? So again, let's go ahead and say it's due then. And in this case, you're not going to accept late work, so you close submissions after the due date. And then is it tied to a topic? Yes, it's tied to topic 1. And then you can add a rubric. So you can create one, you can reuse one, or you can import from Google Sheets. Let's say we create a rubric here. And so now we have the criterion title, the description, how many points is it, and then so on. So if you have more than one criterion, which I'm sure you will, then you can add another one here and you do this information and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have the options here. You can also add levels, right? So maybe you have the first criterion is MLA citations. And so you have, you're expected to do X, Y, and Z when it comes to MLA. And so you have 1 point is, below expectations. And you describe what that means. But then you have another level, and now this one is worth 3 points, and it's, meets expectations. And you describe what that means, and then you have one that's 5 points, and that's exceeds expectations. And so now you have that going on. You have descriptions for each of them. So you kind of go through and you add in all the criterion, and then you click save, right? So I'm going to go ahead and remove this just so I can save this. And I'm going to delete this one too. All right, so you have this here. I'm going to click save. And now we have this 5-point rubric. Obviously, it doesn't match how many points there are, so you would need to update it. You can go ahead and go into it. You see the whole thing, and if you want to, you can go ahead and edit it as well to finish it up. But this is how you add rubrics, or you can use Google Sheets, create it there, and then import it into Google Classroom. So once you have all that done, you go ahead and click assign. And now it's been added to week 1. So again, we go ahead and move that down. And then finally, you can create a quiz as well. And so in this case, you're using Google Forms to do this. So you title it, give it instructions, and then you enter into Google Forms and create the quiz itself. I'm not going to actually create that Google Forms quiz, but I do have videos about Google Forms that I'll link below, or you can look up how to create a form as well. And so once again, how many points is it? The due date, is it tied to a topic? Are you adding a rubric? So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that, but that's how you create a quiz. If necessary, you're going to use Google Forms to do that. So this is the main page where you're building your examples for your portfolio. Now, once you've built this out, something to note is if you go onto the settings here for each of these elements, you can copy a link. And so maybe after you make week 1, you go back to your stream and you say, hey, in my week 1 recap, let me add a link to week 1. So again, you kind of showcase to whoever's viewing your portfolio that you are making connections for your students, you're helping them get to the resources that they need to go to. If you have an announcement about an assignment, then again, you can link that assignment to the announcement. If you go back to the stream, you'll notice that all of the assignments and materials have been added to your stream. So this is something to consider when you're creating your portfolio. Do you want to organize it so it's that week 1 welcome post, and then week 1 Monday material, Wednesday material, the question, the assignment, and then a post about the week 1 recap, and then a post about, looking forward to week 2. So rather than creating the intro post and the week 1 post and the week 2 post, all that all at once, maybe you want to go ahead and post in order so it appears in order on the stream. Because you can move something to the top of the stream, but you can't completely reorganize this. So you would want to do it in order if that's something that you want for your portfolio piece. Click like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to not miss out on future content. There'll be a new theme next month, but for now, I'll link some other videos below that might interest you as a new college instructor, or even if you have some experience, they might still prove helpful to you. I'll see you next time.